Hey guys, welcome back to Coronavirus Crazy News, and it is day 31 and it's May 11th. And I've got some cool news today. So I decided a couple days ago that I wanted to try and make some of my own masks, see if it was possible. And I had done some research on how to make different masks, and I have no sewing machine. I have no sewing skills whatsoever. I mean, there's a sewing box in my closet, but I don't really know how to sew whatsoever. So I was trying to go for the simplest thing possible. And I had some doubts and trying to figure out things, and I was a little mismatching of different people's videos as to how I was going to do this. And I actually ended up with the results after a second mask with something that I'm pretty proud of. So my first one was based off of how you use a bandana, and I just happen to have a bandana, and you kind of just fold it in on itself, and I had it. And then I was really mad at myself because I had finished it, but it just wasn't working for me on my face, and so I kind of tossed it away. So now I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in my room. I don't know. I lost it because I was working on the second one. Anyway, but so you start with a bandana, but there's a lot of extra fabric, so you don't really have like a set portion to your face. So then you got to start cutting off parts of the fabric, then you got to start doing all this different stuff just to make it work for you. And it was just kind of annoying a little bit. And then I also wanted to add in that little bar portion that they have to pinch your nose, because where I work, it's just nice to have that. It helps settle the mask on your face instead of having to keep holding your mask down all the time. So it's nice having that. So I knew that I was going to sew that part in. So even on the first mask, I knew I had to try that. And when I started sewing, I was like, all right, I can do this. And I started sewing, and I was getting there, and I was getting there. Yeah, and it wasn't terrible. It was I was making it out to be much worse than it was. I think the worst part was the ending, and I'm like, okay, I got to the end. Do I just knot it? How do I end it? How do I make sure that it's gonna stay together and not just undo? So yeah, that was kind of my thing. And then a little bit later on in the night, my mom showed me the correct way of making sure that the knots stay together. So that was good. That one also had a coffee filter in it that I had put in because I wanted to keep a kind of coffee filter in there as a secondary precaution. But it was really tight against my face, right here. And I was having trouble, just with everything. Even though I put in straps so that it would go around my face and not around my ears like this, it was super tight against my face, even when I would adjust the straps. So I wasn't enjoying that one so much. So instead, I made a secondary mask. And this mask was kind of flimsy and everything, but it is actually a pretty decent mask, I will say. Especially considering I made it at 9 o'clock at night. So, I made this mask out of my old work t-shirt. Considering I'm never going back to that work, considering I can't wear that work t-shirt anywhere, because what's the point? I don't really represent them anymore. Why not make a COVID-19 mask out of their stuff? Ta-da! Repurpose. So, that's what I decided to do. 100% cotton. Awesome. What I did was I have a mask from a regular surgical mask not surgical, but my mom's a dentist. I have a dentist mask that you can see I cut out the metal part right here. But then I kind of framed up about how big this was, a little bit bigger, because I knew I wanted it to be like expanding, so it wasn't just like completely against my face like the other one, because that was the problem. I made it a little bit bigger than this size, and then I also cut this out so that I could put it in this. So then I put the template on my shirt, and then I cut that out on my shirt, and then I first on one of the first, sorry, you can't see that. So on the front part, I sewed on the little bar thing for your nose. But I know a lot of people can't get those, but I've heard people use like the ties from coffee, the coffee things that you get, like twist ties and coffee filter things, or like, you know, coffee bag things. Like, those are all things that you can use. And then I made sure that I stitched that into the fabric, the front fabric. And then how did I do this? Made it so that I put the two of them, these two back to back, and then I stitched them together, and then I flipped it inside out because I didn't want this portion, this bar, to be seen or anything, and I didn't want the seams to be seen, of course. So then after that, I obviously wanted to make room for these awesome cool straps. So, you know, you cut the bottom of your t-shirt and everything, and I messed up one of the cuts, so whatever, that doesn't really matter. Because there's a lot of extra fabric on my shirt. But you make a long cut and everything. And then you have to stitch like a portion in here, but I mean, it really wasn't that difficult. It was pretty simple on each side. And so I did that, and then I was pretty happy with that. And let's see what else. What after after doing that, what I did was I took a hairpin and I pulled them through the holes, because that was the easiest way for me to get them through. Otherwise, there's like no way for you to like just kind of move it through. You have to like use like a hairpin or something to pull it through. It like makes it an easy anchor to pull it through. And then after that, I was pretty satisfied with what I had done at that point. But the only thing I wasn't happy with was the fact that this part right here was still showing. But since I had some extra fabric of this, I just sewed that onto right here, so I knew that it wouldn't like come up and rub up against my nose. I plan on sewing the bottom of it, and then hopefully adding just a coffee filter anytime I plan on wearing this. And you just kind of like stick the coffee filter in, like you can kind of cut it and stick the coffee filter in, like so you put it in the middle. And see if that works, and then you just kind of put it on. You look like a mask bandit. Hold on, I gotta get this right. Hold on. I'm actually super proud of myself, guys, so. I know that like, you could totally see the blue part, but I honestly don't care. I'm not a fashion person. If you haven't noticed that by now, you may want to start realizing that, because, yep, that's me. And so, this is my first COVID-19. Well, actually, it's my second. But my first real COVID-19 mask. And I am super proud of myself. I wonder if this helped any of you guys. It may have just confused you. But, I'm really happy. And, have any questions, just ask, and hopefully I can help. And it's super nice and comfortable, and it was a great way to repurpose something that I had from before, a t-shirt from my old job. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. Don't forget to wear a mask if you go out. Bye!